As always, peace to my people. Just came in, touched down, get back to business. And I just came to expound on a little bit, just to kick it with my folks, do an upload. And it's something I want to talk about, something I always touch on. You know what I mean? Just realizing the truth from fact. You know? But as we know, we've been lied to, we've been pushed, we've been pulled in all type of directions. We've been manipulated, we've been lied to, everything. All that falls under the category of oppression, psychological oppression. We've been all that falls under that umbrella. But as we know, the truth comes to the light when you decide to turn the light on. And as throughout the last week, I've done a few things, and it made me realize more and how big this lie is. Now, as we know, we look throughout the course of time, it's been a division line, right? Between races, between sexes, just a division line and everything. And sometimes we equate that division line to trying to find the balance, right? Like I said, throughout the course of the last week, with all the stuff going on in the world, the bombings, the killing of children by parents, you name it, within the last week. Now, as I did my travel to the South, and from Michigan to Georgia, you go through a couple southern states. Now, it had been a while since I went south, especially going south on a road travel. And throughout the course of the road travel, we stop. You know, you're going to stop, naturally. You have to stop. Gas, food, rest, you have to stop. So in those stops, those several stops that occurred, I witnessed something that blew me back instantly. It was the hospitality from white people. I mean, genuine hospitality. Not a hospitality because you walk in my restaurant or you walk in my establishment, but hospitality thereof that was peculiar to me because it was like a more or less of a trumpets blowing. And if anyone watched that video that I had posted, I had to take it down because there's some things that I had to take down. But the music, because of the music. But when I said let blow the trumpets, that wasn't in a vain way, but it was subliminally what I had seen. Because as me and my bro traveled through these couple southern states before we reached Georgia, which would be Tennessee and Kentucky, man, those white people like damn near rolled the carpet out. And I'm saying that in the way of how they treated. You know, it was like something I never seen before, man. And they constantly feed to us that there's a problem between us and them. We are all us. You know, I know people may know me personally, and throughout the last 6 months, I've done a total evolution in thinking because of the thought process. Let's put it like that, the growth in the thought process. You go through different stages as you really try to evolve into finding out what the real is. And I, for those who know me on here, know that that's my life. I'm trying to find out what is what, so I could teach it to my children so they can have a clue of what is what, so they won't have to go through the nonsense and be psychologically damaged, because they'll know, you know. But I go back to the hospitality, and it was like the people were so welcoming and non-biased and safe travels, you know, have a safe travel. And it wasn't no get out fakery. You know what I'm saying? You could tell when something real and something fake. I'm a person who really can't be fooled because the red flag go up. I may be naive and bend and say, I'm just tripping. But I'm usually not wrong. I'm usually 99% correct when the vibe I get from somebody. If it's real or if it's fake. I'm 99% correct on that, as most people are. No different than no one else. But in me saying that is because I look for it. After the first welcome, man, that was pretty warmth, you know. Tell him, bro, like, damn, you see? He's like, yeah, you know. And it's like, as conversations grew throughout those several interactions in different places, I noticed that it was genuine. Like, wow, these people are really genuine. You know what I mean? Like, damn. So what's the problem? And I went back and I looked at a video I had made because, like I said, I don't talk just to talk. I talk to teach myself as well. If that wasn't picked up, yeah. I don't talk just to talk. I talk to teach myself as well. Because when I'm talking, it's like a flowing river. It's just like the things that I observe and it's my mind just releasing. And our mind, when we think stuff in our mind, we don't always process it in the right way because it's just information being downloaded into your brain. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you open your mouth and let it come out, and you go back and listen to it, you can learn something from yourself. And I adapted to that, you know what I mean? And went back and listened to it. And it was something that I said that struck a chord with me, like, damn. The problem is not between us, the problem is the story. And this is what I want to get to, the story, the lie, the big lie, man. And it was like confirmation to things that I seen and things that were said and things that I learned. I got confirmation from that just a couple hours ago. And it popped up out of nowhere. I wasn't looking for it. And in all actuality, I was looking to watch some ratchetness, you know, what's going on in the entertainment world, because I haven't been keeping up a little bit lately. And I stumbled across it. Type on it, because this person, you may have heard of this person, and I want y'all to go, man. I'm going to put that link to this actual video in this video in the description box. And I'm also put Dane Calloway. Go and watch this man's channel, man. This dude is phenomenal, and he don't get the accolade and his flowers right now. You know what I'm saying? Because this dude gives some powerful information, some common sense. Go dig deep and research. Maybe even have to spend a couple dollars on research if you truth seeking. Not fact checking, truth seeking. Because there's a difference. And I learned that. And it was confirmed that I learned that because when I watched this video, it was said. It blew my wig back. That was the most important thing out of the video that blew my wig back, because the information that he bringing forth, I'm hip to it because I've been studying and listening to him and going to the places he told me to go to and talk to my bro Truth, because Truth put me on Dane Calloway. And everybody who know me, who know Truth, is a pretty intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? So when I went and I looked at the video and he got to breaking down, and he just said it. He was like, there's a difference between truth and fact. And I had to pause and I said, hold on, Dane, you losing me here. I paused it. I processed it. And I said, you know what the fuck? It is. Because truth lies under the realm of common sense. Fact is a fact of an opinion. Now, I hope I ain't losing people when I said, like, you talking crazy, shut the fuck up. No. If you break it down, I might not be explaining it right, because like I said, when you process something, your brain is coming so fast, especially when you're trying to get it out. And I'm kind of ADD-ish a little bit, you know. I think we all are. But you think about that. Somebody say something, you fact. But that's opinion. Truth is when you could go and look at it and say right there, 1 + 1 = 2. Truth. Different from the phrase to say, man, P. Diddy a faggot. And they're going to say, fact. He just stamping the approval of opinion with fact. So, that's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the man, I just use that as something, I don't know where that came from. But anywho, the crust of the whole situation is, man, that we've been so caught up in the story of history and what history has told us and what science has told us. And on this road, right, my brother is not really into the things I'm into mentally, like when it comes to stuff like that, because the God side, right? And the things that I bring forth mentally, it kind of takes God out of the equation to a degree, because this is man stuff. This is not, I can't say it's not God stuff, because it all depends on what you look at as God. And my view of God may be totally different than yours. So I just leave that there. But him being a believer of what he believes, it's kind of hard for people to, maneuver in the lanes that some of us move in as far as thinking, the thought process stuff. So I asked him, dude, like, man, what is gravity? And he explained to me what gravity is. Boom, boom, boom. We go through the scientific, because he's a very intelligent person. You know what I mean? He was in the military, toured Desert Storm, so he worldly to a degree, you know what I mean, when it comes to things and information. But what's the gravity? He goes through the process of what's gravity. Boom, boom, boom. And I tell him, I'm like, well, if you gonna say that science gives us this information and we intake this information, process it, and come to the same conclusion that science has brought you to, what about the God element? Because science is totally contradictory to God. So we can't have both. You either gonna believe what God said or you're gonna believe what science is telling you. Totally contradictory. Science takes the God element out of everything. Everything. So if these people science people, these NASA people, these scientists, if they tell me that gravity is blah, 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 but don't put God nowhere in that, I can't believe nothing these people say. Period. I cannot believe nothing these people say, because when you go and you look what these people saying, you really research what these people saying, their theories, a theory. Just that alone. Everything that they base their truth upon is upon a theory, a mathematical analyzation. A theory. 9 is the highest you can go in the number. It's just start back over again. So let's just start right there first. So you're going to tell me blah, 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 there's a ratio of blah, 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 and the ratio of blah, 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 but blah, blah, blah gives you gravity. Come on, y'all. But God is nowhere in that. But y'all will say, they right. Praise Jesus. What type of fucking psychopath shit is that? Because in your Bible, it tells you that that teaching is of the devil. So who you rolling with? I'm not saying this is what they saying. Science is totally contradictory to God, because it takes God out of everything. So we gonna believe that. So when you start, now there it goes back to believe. Truth. What's truth? What's fact? So these stories that they tell us, and if you research these stories, especially of American history, is a very young child. Very, 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 very young child. So you gonna tell me, and I'm gonna preach this shit on every video I make, this is about this. This is what my channel was all about from here on out. So if y'all are tired of hearing it, get the fuck on. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be frank and upfront with that shit, because it's time to start teaching these babies what is what. We cannot let these schools, okay, the schools, we know we live in this fucking fucked up system for now. And we know that this fucked up system requires for a child to have an education. It's law. If not, your child is not being educated by the system or homeschooling within the system, that you will be held at some type of penalty of law as a parent. So we know that. So we know when we send these kids off to school, some of us are not able to homeschool. Some of us are not mentally capable to homeschool, and that's okay. But if we call ourselves parents and want to know what's real, what's fake, what's, and want better for our children, then they go off to these places, to these schools, and they learn what they learn. But you got to come home, bring them home, and make them understand what's real, what's fake. Okay, you need this. They teach you this, but I'm going to tell you why they teaching this and the real of this. And it don't mean that you go back to school and quote this, but you know where you stand. You know what's what, and you know what's real. See, it's time in order for this, they call the revolt to happen. The revolt is the mind thinking. It's not a revolution of no dynamic that we can see in the physical. It's a evolution of mind, a revolt in the mind to stop being systematically caught up and learn how to maneuver and teach. And it takes a lot. It takes discipline and it takes a lot of courage. And in me saying that, I kind of lost my train of thought for a minute because there's so much information and I don't like to make videos go long. You know what I mean? But it really boils down to what are we feeding our minds, like on the intellectual level of thinking. It's okay to be ratchet. I'm not gonna say it's okay, but I think it's a part of the human construct until the system has changed and we can think differently. You know what I mean?